the throne of the stage of being a detached observer is the throne of making accurate decisions. Okay, so if you sit on the seat of being a detached observer, then you can make accurate decisions. Now you see that most of the time we come across these questions where people ask how to make accurate decisions, and everybody is interested in making accurate decisions. Now the interesting thing is, why would anybody make an inaccurate decision? So when you are presented with a choice and there is a decision to make, then why is it that you make an inaccurate decision? Because that decision appears to be the right decision at that point of time. Correct? So it appears to be the right decision at that point of time. So we never make a consciously inaccurate decision. Yes, so to the best of our knowledge and ability, we always make a good decision. But then in hindsight, when we look at it, it looks like a bad decision. So, some time later, some months later, some years later, it looks like a bad decision. So, what is it in that moment which makes it look like a good decision when it is a bad decision? So, it is your, when your buddhi is clouded by some emotion, some prejudice, some fear, something or the other, so that buddhi is influenced by that prejudice, by that emotion, by that body consciousness, by that fear. And when the buddhi itself is clouded by something, then obviously you can't see clearly. And then when you can't see clearly, then you take the right step, but because you can't see clearly, the right step is not the right step. Yes, so when we talk about accurate decisions, so there is a very good word that we come across when we come to Baba, and the word is accurate. Yes, so Baba doesn't use good, bad, right, wrong. Baba always uses this word accurate. And what is accurate? Accurate is something that is according to the law. So, according to the law of karma, it is right. According to, it can stand the test of time. So even when you make a decision today, it looks like a good decision 20 years later. Or when you're leaving the body also, it looks like a good decision you made. So you don't regret it later. That's an accurate decision. And you can only make that accurate decision. That decision withstands the test of time, that decision which is in accordance with the laws of karma, with godly laws. You can make that decision when you are seated on the seat of being a detached observer. Being a detached observer means you're not influenced by your emotions, your prejudices, your fears, your many things that go on in the inner world. And If you look at the image that Baba has given us for buddhi, so buddhi is shown as a balancing scale, and in that the point, the kanta, has to be straight in that balancing scale. So in Hindi we call it a tarazu. So the buddhi is shown as a tarazu, and in that tarazu the kanta, the pointer, has to be straight. And what swerves the pointer, so what makes you not make accurate decisions, is vices. So when there are vices, when you are not looking at everything from an unbiased perspective, when you're not looking at everything as a detached observer, when you're looking at everything as as me and mine, so when these things are influencing you on the inside, then you make a bad decision and then you repent it later. Yes, have you made bad decisions in life? Yes, because you are attached to somebody, because you are under some fear or greed. You make bad decisions because you are under the influence of greed, and you make bad decisions when you are in anger. So when you are in anger also, you make very bad decisions. When your ego is hurt, you make very bad decisions. So there is a saying by Buddha: do not promise when you are happy, do not reply when you are angry, and do not decide when you are sad. And this is a very good saying because it doesn't cover all the emotions, but 3 emotions at least it covers. So you do not make good decisions when you are under the influence of any emotion. And being a detached observer means shedding off your I and mine, your stakes in it, and then just looking at it from a point of view of Baba. So when you are a detached observer, you sit with Baba. So in Hindi, this word Sakshi and Sathi go together. So when you are with Baba, you are a detached observer. So when you are with the situation, or you are attached to the person involved in the situation or the thing involved in the situation, then you make an inaccurate decision. And it is in the interest of every soul that we make accurate decisions, because when from my own experience, I think that when you make bad decisions, then it makes you lose faith in yourself. And part of our low self-esteem is because you think that the decisions you made in the past, you regretted later. So when you make decisions which are in the past, of course, now, but you regret them today, then you lose your self-esteem because of that. So it's not advisable that when you are in a scene and you decide, then there is this one there's this one lady, and she once told me a very beautiful thing. She told me that my daughter is making a lot of bad decisions, but I do not have the courage to stop her. I see that, and but I don't go and stop her. I'm not asking her to stop. So I said, why? So she said, because I made a lot of wrong decisions when I was young. And when I see her doing that, I am not able to stop her, because I think that, when you're young, you make decisions and then you regret them later. I think that's the rule. So I said, but you see that now you know better than that, and you know that you regret it. So it's up to her to not to continue doing that or to stop when you tell her to, but at least you should tell it. So, otherwise, this will also be a bad decision. So, if you don't decide to share your experience, and I'm not telling you to be preachy about everything, but you can talk from your own experience also. You can say that, when I was your age, I made this decision and it didn't serve me well. So if you could just honestly share that with her, and then let her decide, that would be a good idea. Otherwise, you will repent this also later. So 10 years down the line, you will tell me that, Didi, I should have told my daughter not to do this, but I didn't, because I was myself suffering from that guilt of making bad decisions. So, when you are in guilt also, you make bad decisions. When you are regretful also, you made bad decisions. Let's talk about guilt. So you see that these days we see this phenomena where parents, they do not strike a balance between work and life. Yes, and then they kind of abandon their children in pursuit of, money and fame and this and that. And then when they feel guilty about it, they try to compensate for it. And in that compensation, they try to give the children that which is not appropriate for their age, or that which they have not earned, and they kind of stuff their life with resources. So, and then they regret that later. So, this is kind of a series of bad decisions. So when you make a bad decision at one time, then you feel guilty about it in the next time, and then that guilt also makes you make an inaccurate decision for later. So this is the cycle of inaccurate decisions in my experience. So this is why we need to break that cycle, and we need to, for once, get rid of our emotions. We need to get rid of our prejudices. We need to clear our head, basically, and just sit with Baba. Baba is knowledgeful, loveful, powerful, no biases, no emotions. Baba has pure feelings but no emotions. Baba doesn't feel happy and sad. Baba is always blissful. So when you sit on that seat, you make an accurate decision. And today you make a decision based on, fear or attachment or greed or whatever. You regret it later. And I always share this example. It's a very beautiful example. So, and it fits in today's slogan also. So, when you are in a situation, so I shared this example of a brother who was in an office, and he was working in a pretty good position. And then he had this junior who was working under him and reporting to him. And then he had a senior whom he reported to. And then this senior started giving direct orders to the junior. Okay, so he's in the middle and he was not involved, and then the senior started giving direct orders to the junior, and then the junior complained to this brother that the senior is giving me this order and I don't want to follow it, and I am under you and you should be giving me orders and not him, and I am not willing to take direct orders from him and he's harassing me. And when this happened, what this person did is he straight went to the senior's cabin and he shouted at him. And when he shouted at him, this person shouted back and he said that I will throw you out of the job. And then this person got so agitated, he said, what will you throw me out of the job? I resign. And he just put his resignation and he came back. And you see, he was a very valuable employee to the company. He is very talented. And so he thought that maybe, because I am a very good employee, so it will cost the company more if I leave. Okay, so that ego was also there, and then he just left the job and he thought that the company will miss me, but I will find another job in a second. And it is so, and it should have been like that, like he should have found a job in a second because he was pretty resourceful and talented. But as drama would have it, he didn't find a job for 6 months after that. And wherever he applied, he either there was no suitable vacancy or there was some other reason, but he couldn't find a job in another 6 months. And in that period, I saw that brother and he was absolutely a mess. He was so, because you see, you are thriving on anger and ego. So you're basically empty, and if you threw away that thing which was giving you that, that feeding your ego, and now you are empty, and he became such a mess. And then I called him so many times to the center. He was just, in connection. He was not a regular Murli student. So he just I used to know him as a community person. So because I came to know of his situation, I called him many times to the center, but he never visited me. And 4 months he kept avoiding. He said, no, Didi, I'm not feeling like, I can't sit, I don't feel good talking, I don't come out of the house, I don't want to meet. And then 4 months later, I asked somebody to drag him out of the house and bring him here. And then somebody brought him here, and then I asked him, you have been in a working position for so many years. Now let me ask you one simple thing. If somebody like you came for an interview today and sat before you, would you hire him? With the kind of mindset you are moving, with the low self-esteem you're living, and with the kind of vibration you have right now, so so depressed, so low, would you hire somebody of your kind? So he said no. So I said, why would somebody hire you? So get back your self-esteem. And then I gave him Baba's quotes and motivated him, and then he got a job. Instantly he got a job in 10 days. So the thing is, you see, now I asked him one question. So what is it that you regret most? So about this whole thing that happened 6 months back, what is it that you regret most? So he told me that I regret most that I jumped and went to the senior and talked to him. So I shouldn't have done that. So you see that when you are not sitting on the seat of a detached observer and somebody is making a complaint. So the junior complained, right? Now, when the junior is complaining and you are not on the seat of a detached observer, then you will not be able to draw the line between what is his business and what is my business. And both of that will get mixed. So, have you seen that when you, so of course now you don't, but earlier when you went to the theater and you were watching a movie, so have you seen that there is a time, maybe the first half an hour or first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, when you know you are sitting on the seat and you have a life, and what's going on is going on the screen. Yes, you have that sense of detachment. And you know what is detachment? When we say detached observer, what is detachment? Detachment is something that gives you perspective. So you have perspective, you have clarity that what you are sitting here on the seat and you are an individual and you have a life of your own, and what's going on the screen is going on there. But then slowly, gradually, you start getting involved, and then you are dancing with the heroine and you are crying with the hero and you are doing all of that stuff, and then you are getting all emotional about it, and then that line gets blurred. That line gets blurred, and then you are not able to make the distinction that what's going on is going on there, not here. And you are also living those emotions which are happening on the screen. So this is what we mean by being a detached observer, not being a detached observer. So in the first half an hour you are a detached observer, and then you have stopped being that. And this happens in life also. So everything is happening, but what is happening, what is another person's business, where is your line, where do you need to respond, how do you need to respond, that is where you need to draw the line. And in that case particularly, you see that if your junior is coming and reporting to you that he is being harassed, it's not your job to fight his battle. It's your job to motivate him and assure him your support in fighting his battle. So, when somebody says, I'm in trouble, you give them the guidance, you give them the support, and you tell them that if things go out of hand, I will help you. So, if the management calls and you are asked for a verdict, you will say that this junior is a good person and he is behaving well and he is doing his work. That's your job. It's not your job to fight other people's battles. So, but when you make that decision, out of emotions, not in accordance with the law of spirituality. What is the law of spirituality? You see, there is a very simple law, and in Bhakti we say, God helps those who help themselves. God helps those who help themselves. And this law is so crystal clear that even God can't help you if you don't take your step. And when Baba comes, what is the first thing he tells us? He tells us, I will not fight your battles. It is your karma, your karmic account. I will give you the knowledge. I will give you the motivation. I will tell you the method of yoga through which you can draw power. I can give you all the guidance which you need to empower yourself to fight your battles. but I will not do that for you. And when Baba doesn't do that, why should we? Why should we? We don't need to fight. We don't need to fight anybody's battles. We don't need to form opinions based on incomplete information. So, even when you are not fighting anybody's battles, but you are just sitting on the side and forming an opinion, that opinion is just damaging your inner world. You had to remember Baba, but now you are thinking about people and their behaviors and their lives and this and that is not helping you. So Baba says, be a detached observer. Now, I gave you one example of one spiritual law. Yes, so one spiritual law, I stated that, you have to, God helps those who help themselves. But there are many other spiritual laws which you have to take into accordance when you make decisions. For example, Baba has told us that the 5 vices will give you sorrow in the beginning, middle and end. Yes, so Adi, Madhya, Anta, they will only give you sorrow. So let me ask myself, am I making a decision based on attachment, based on greed, based on fear, based on lust, based on ego, or based on anger and complaint and feeling of, not good feelings for somebody? So if my decision is based on all of that, then I will reap sorrow in the end. So Baba says, when you are a detached observer, when you are with Baba, because Sakshi and Sathi go together. So when you're with Baba, you are completely aware of the laws. You are you are in a knowledgeful state, wise state, and then you make decisions. And these decisions will stand the test of time. Even when you are on the verge of leaving your body, you will be very proud of every single decision you made in your life. Yes, you will be very proud of every single decision, and you will leave your body with your head held high. Yes, you will not leave your body. So, sometimes, so let's say somebody thought, so according to morality, somebody thought that, putting your money into vicious activities, so, pleasing people is a good act. But then at the end of the journey, when you go before Dharamraj, you will know that that is not God's law. And then you will repent it. But when and it is our fortune, very big fortune, that we are with Baba and we know the laws. So let us sit on the seat of detachment. Let us not get involved unnecessarily in the scenes and sights that are before us. Let us not become body conscious, go into I and my consciousness, and let us not forget the laws of spirituality while deciding in every situation. And when you do that, that will be accurate decision. So this is something that Baba says. And then in the Murli, Baba talks about, this intoxication. Baba says you should have the intoxication that you are a Brahmin and you are a mouth-born creation of Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba. And you see that Baba says that Brahmins are the top knot. And in the Virat Roop, so, in that Virat Roop ka chitra, we see that deities, warriors, merchants and Shudras have been shown. But they don't show the top knot of Brahmin. So Baba says Brahmins are the choti. And then there is Shiv Baba also, which is missing in that picture. And Baba says you are even higher than deities right now. And why? Because Baba says that Brahmins are the wish fulfilling entities. So Baba says that as deities, the deity Lakshmi will not fulfill the wishes of people. Yes, in Satyug will Lakshmi fulfill the wishes? No, because everybody is content and there is no unfulfilled wishes in anybody's heart in Satyug. But Baba says here, this is the day and age where you are the children who I am sustaining, I have created, I am sustaining, and I have filled your aprons with so many treasures that you can fulfill the wishes of others. Sarva Manokamanai. Yes, so Baba says you can fulfill all the wishes of everyone. And what is the wish of everyone? So, if you ask anybody, what do you want? What do they say? They say, I just need peace and happiness. Yes, I just need peace and happiness. Does anybody want more than that? Yes, peace, happiness, prosperity, more than that, okay? Now, Baba says, in Satyug you have peace, happiness and prosperity, all three. And you are the children who can show them the path to how to be a deity in Satyug. So you are the ones who can guide them, because Baba has filled your aprons. You are in that capacity to give them the knowledge and share Baba's knowledge, so that they can also create their fortune of going into a world of peace, happiness and prosperity. And right now also, when somebody comes to you, they think that they know that they need peace and happiness, but they are not approaching it directly. So they think that peace will come from, everybody obeying what they say, and happiness will come from they having all the resources in the world. But then Baba says that peace and happiness come from the ocean of peace and happiness, and they come from karma. So not karma which makes everybody obey you, or not karma that fills your room with everything that you want, but karma that, so what do you do for peace? You practice being bodiless. And what do you do for happiness? You share, and happiness is the product of good karma. So whenever you do things based on Shrimat, then that is good karma. And I will just share one example in this regard. So there is a Kumar, and mostly, when I ask him, how was your day? He says, I'm very tired and I went to office and there was a lot of work and I'm feeling very tired and bogged down. And this is what he always tells me. And then it was a Sunday, and then I asked him, so how are you feeling today and how was your day? And then he said, today I'm feeling very happy. I'm really bubbling with happiness. So I told him, did you sleep all day? Because I thought he is always complaining about work, so maybe he slept, so he's feeling happy. So he said, no, on the contrary, I picked up a broom and I cleaned my whole room today. And I cleaned every corner of the kitchen also, and I just washed everything, and even the utensils that were washed, I washed them again. And then after cleaning everything properly, spick and span, I cooked bhog and then I offered it to Baba, and I'm feeling very, very happy. And then I told him, see, happiness is the product of good karma. And today you did everything according to Shrimat, so you're feeling happy. So then he told me, but Didi, every day also I go and work. right? So I go and slog in the office from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then still, why don't I get that happiness? So I said, look at the word you are using, slog. So you are working, but what is your consciousness? You are not working. So when you're cleaning the room, what did you think? You're cleaning. Yes, you're doing something good. You know that when I clean this room will be clean. When you're offering bhog to Baba, preparing bhog to Baba, who is in your awareness? Baba is in your awareness. But when you're going to work, what is your awareness? I have to work, I have to go to office. These people are torturing me, not giving that person work, giving me work. So this consciousness is not good karma. And consciousness defines the karma. So when that is why, Baba says karam yog means work done in the consciousness of worship is worship. And this is why Baba says when you are doing everything in Baba's remembrance and you think that I am just spending my time with Baba and are doing everything with my hands, so my hands are working, but what am I doing? I am having a very sacred meeting with Baba. So that is what makes it good karma. And so Baba also today says that you have the capacity to show everybody the path to peace and happiness in this Sangam Yug also, and then in the future also, when you do everything on Srimad, you go to a world of peace, happiness and prosperity. So this is something Baba talks about, comparing this Brahmin life to a deity life, and Baba says this Brahmin life is more elevated than even a deity life. And then Baba compares the worldly Brahmins to we Brahmins, and Baba says that they hold scriptures in their hands, but you hold knowledge in your buddhi. So, they are known by their dress and their holding of scriptures. But your identification is not physical. Just like, Baba is Baba because Baba is the ocean inside. Similarly, you are a Brahmin not because you read some scripture or you dress a certain way, but you are a Brahmin because you have the same buddhi that Baba has. And Baba has given you the buddhi and made you knowledgeful, blissful, powerful. So that is why you are a Brahmin. So this is your distinction from the other kind of Brahmin. And Baba today says, knowledge is not difficult. You just have to pay attention. And let's say, how does anybody's idea become your idea? When you pay attention. So have you seen that words are transferred from the mouth to the ear? So when I speak, you listen. That is a mouth to ear connection. But ideas are not transferred from the mouth to the ear. Ideas are transferred from one soul to the other in accordance with attention. So if you're paying attention, an idea can get transferred to you from the other. Have you seen that, when you are in a meeting and then two people have a connection and then they're sitting on the opposite ends, then they can even, give drishti to each other and give the idea, and they both speak the same thing. So that's the kind of attention you need when you're listening to the Murli. And Baba says, or when you are having yoga with Baba. So when you are listening to Baba or when you are having yoga with Baba, as long as you stay very attentive, as long as your buddhi yoga is accurate, that transfer of knowledge from Baba happens to you. and you also start becoming like Baba. That is why yoga is buddhi yoga, because your attention ensures that Baba's mind, Baba's buddhi becomes your mind and your buddhi. Okay, Om Shanti.